Hi, I'm Alan Juarez, and I'm a PhD student at the University of Southern California. I study geophysics, and I'm particularly interested on earthquakes. I model the complex processes on earthquake ruptures. I grew up in Mexico, and Mexico has tons of earthquakes all the time. Uh, we have had many major earthquakes that have caused destruction in multiple cities and towns. And I've particularly have been affected by one of these earthquakes, my family. So that kind of created the curiosity about understanding the earthquakes, the energy, and the ground motions. So when I went to college, I decided to study geophysics, which was kind of the closest thing to that was related to earthquakes. And then I started to focus on learning more about seismology. So that's how I also decided to go to grad school. So right now I'm studying the physical processes of earthquake ruptures. In particular, I'm looking at the complexity of ruptures. Like, for example, if you see when a rock breaks, like there are some rocks that break in flat surfaces, and there are others that have multiple geometrical complexities. So what I'm looking at is the seismic radiation, the seismic waves, and trying to use them to infer this complexity on earthquake ruptures. The way I came across this area was when I came to grad school, and my advisor proposed this topic for studying seismic sources. And of course, that was something that I was very interested on because I kind of, since early in my age, like when I was trying to decide what to study, I just found earthquakes very amazingly for all the energy that can be released through the seismic waves, and they can, travel for so very long distances and have still enough energy to shake buildings, for example. I think it's something that I found difficult about grad school was nothing like within like grad school, but it was moving from Mexico to the US. So it was quite difficult to leave my family and my friends and start a new life in a new place. So that kind of was hard in the beginning, but eventually, I met new people, made new friends, and that kind of helped me to cope with grad school in general. I think grad school can be a bit stressful sometimes because, you are developing new research, you have probably a couple of projects, and it's a very fast learning process. So that can be a bit stressful sometimes. But at the same time, I think I learned to enjoy it. So the whole experience, like just the process of learning, of being surrounded by many very smart people and trying to learn from all of them and having discussions. So that was very fulfilling. And I think the thing that I enjoyed the most about grad school was teaching. As part of my duties, I was a TA for different classes, including earthquakes, geosystems, and planet Earth. And I loved it because I can see the enthusiasm of the younger students. And even though they are from different backgrounds and with different interests, like from finance, philosophy, cinematographic arts, things like that, they still feel like that interest for learning about geology, minerals, earthquakes. So that was very encouraging. I really like interacting with them and just talking with them and kind of letting them know about the things that I'm interested in and that I like doing. Something that I really find very exciting about this and the work that I'm doing in grad school was going to conferences. So I work on source modeling, right? And some of the sources that I model are explosions. So I went to this conference on the ban on nuclear explosions. And that conference was like very mind-blowing because it was the interaction between scientists, diplomats, people from social sciences, economics, and physicists. So people from many areas discussing why it's important to ban nuclear weapons. So as part of our conferences, I started to get involved with people like from different backgrounds, and I think that altered a lot the way I see science. That is just not like, developing pure knowledge. It's more like about how we develop knowledge that is going to be useful for society. That's something that changed my mind about like doing science, being in grad school, and this when I decided like, yeah, I'm doing the right thing, and I tried to get involved in these kind of multidisciplinary projects, and not just involved with scientists, but now like kind of like talking with diplomats, ambassadors, or try to engage with students from international relations, social sciences, psychology. And so I think like going to conferences is the best part of being a PhD student. It's like having a trip to learn a lot, and everything is paid, so it's great. I feel like there's this misconception that science is kind of difficult and stressful, and like I don't see like something stressful. I just see like something that I enjoy doing every day, like more like a hobby, something that doesn't have to be stressful in a way. It's like when you're playing a video game, it can be stressful because you cannot like pass a level. So to me, science is the same. Like someday probably I cannot solve my problem, but I know like at least I'm learning. You can go to read a different paper. You can see what other people are doing, and it's just kind of this experience of getting knowledge. And many students kind of struggle with the same, with that stress, like not knowing how to handle, the research, or sometimes the advisors are like difficult to interact with. And I guess my advice will be like, just chill out. Like, it's not a big deal. I think grad school will be one of the most amazing experiences that you could have. Just see it always as a learning experience, even like struggling with your advisor. That's going to teach you like how to interact with people, and how to handle stress, and how to, solve problems. And I think like if you do also grad school, or you want to do earth sciences, you also have a bright future, because like either you are interested in staying in academia or going to the industry. It's not like you're going to be a person that is a specialist on something, but I like to think is I'm a specialist on problem solving. Not because I just do earthquakes, but you learn like, how to research, where to look for information, and how to do things. And I think that's kind of very rewarding. And so, yeah, my advice is enjoy it. Like, it's great experience. You're going to learn a lot. Hopefully you're going to be paid for it. So yeah, it's great.